As India heads into the new year, most states in the country are witnessing a surge in COVID cases. Delhi and Maharashtra once again reported a spike in COVID numbers in the last 24 hours. Daily COVID cases in Delhi crossed the 1,000 mark, whereas the daily cases in Mumbai were more than 3,600. West Bengal also witnessed a rise in COVID numbers, logging over 2,000 cases, and half of them were from Kolkata alone. Now, all the direct flights from UK to Kolkata will now be suspended from January 3rd. Bengaluru has also reported 565 cases in the last 24 hours, witnessing a rise in the cases by nearly 4 times in a span of just 10 days. My colleague Ayushman Kumana joins me live on the broadcast. Ayushman, the numbers are out there for everybody to see. We're looking at the 31st of December today. People obviously would want to get out there, party, but the advisory is for everyone to follow. The fresh curbs and checks that are being put in place, just take our viewers through it as to what are we exactly looking at, especially on the last day of the year.
Well, we normally tend to see either people partying or gathering taking place in the national capital or people thronging to temples. All these three things have been completely prohibited. The celebrations, events and gathering, political congregation or any kind of congregation is completely banned. In fact, the religious congregations are also banned. Restaurants can operate, but only at the capacity of 50%. There is a special traffic advisory which has been issued by Delhi Traffic Police, which entails that people are not allowed to gather on roads also. There are certain sections of road in central Delhi which will be closed. We know that people throng to India Gate during the night time on 31st December in order to celebrate. That is completely denied. The DDMA has said that there is an yellow alert in the national capital, which means the religious places will be open, but entry in that is not allowed. We have seen examples from markets where people have thronged in large number, and the authorities going there, and there are instances where the markets have also been sealed. So somewhere the message is clear. No event gathering, no political gathering, no congregation is allowed on New Year. People have been advised to stay in their homes because even the DTC and the metros have been instructed to operate only at 50% capacity.
Right, Ayushman, thank you so much for joining us with all those details. Let's shift focus now and take a look at Maharashtra, where there is a continuous and worrying rise of COVID cases, with the state reporting 5,368 new COVID cases and 22 deaths in the last 24 hours. Mumbai has also seen a huge spike in the COVID cases, with 3,671 new COVID cases reported yesterday as compared to 2,510 cases reported the day before. Now, in view of the case rise, all New Year parties and gatherings and events have been banned in Mumbai. And that's not all. The Omicron cases are also on the rise in the state, as Maharashtra now reports 198 new Omicron cases, out of which 190 were reported in Mumbai alone. Now, worryingly, it has been found that Omicron has been detected in 37.6% of the COVID samples that were taken randomly from Mumbai residents. Now, Mumbai civic body suspects that Omicron is now spreading at a community level.
पॉजिटिव संख्या बढ़ने की जो गति है वो बहुत ज़्यादा है और 2 दिन में आंकड़ा डबल हो रहा है, तो निश्चित तौर पर यह चिंता बढ़ाने वाली बात है। और मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि इसको मद्देनज़र रखते हुए कुछ निर्णय लेने की ज़रूरत है। तो निर्बंध के बारे में जो चर्चा हुई उसके ऊपर माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी अंतिम निर्णय लेंगे।
And we're getting some breaking news now. The government of Maharashtra has amended its COVID guidelines. As per the new rules, the maximum number of people allowed is 50 now at the weddings. In both closed and open spaces. Now, 20 people are allowed at funerals, while at public places like beaches and open grounds, if deemed appropriate, Section 144 may be imposed. My colleague Disha Shah joins me live on the broadcast. Disha Shah, we are looking at sort of an Omicron community spread. This is something to be concerned about, and now there are fresh guidelines. Just take us through these guidelines. What exactly are we seeing now?
Well, certainly, yesterday in the evening, this Chief Minister of the state, Uddhav Thackeray, did a meeting with the state task force at the Health Minister to understand that why the COVID-19 cases as well as the Omicron cases are rising, especially here in the state of Maharashtra. And based on the numbers, the government of Maharashtra late last night released an order which essentially restricted the number of guests even more at the weddings, especially if you're having an indoor wedding or an outdoor wedding. Now only 50 people can be allowed to attend such weddings. So earlier last week, when the government had come up with a revised rules, that time they had mentioned that as far as weddings are concerned, 100 people can attend the indoor weddings and 250 people can attend the outdoor weddings. But keeping in mind that how the COVID-19 cases is seeing a sharp rise in Maharashtra, they have come up with this revised rules. As far as funerals are concerned, only 20 people can attend their funerals, and in public places like beach or gardens or any sort of other public place, it is on the local authorities to decide whether they want to impose Section 144, where more than 5 people cannot be allowed at any point in time. So these are the new rules that have come in, and definitely this is coming before the New Year's, because remember, New Year's is a time where it is celebrated in a big way in Mumbai, especially, where people do go to famous places like Nariman Point, Marine Drive, Worli Sea Face for that matter. And all of those places now completely crowding has been banned. People have been asked not to gather. New Year's parties have been banned, especially if you talk about in restaurants, clubs, bars, resorts. No New Year's parties at all. Section 144 has been imposed through the day in Mumbai as well. So all of these are the rules that have really come into picture. But the latest order does put an additional restriction on the number of people that can attend the weddings.